Good afternoon, children. So today we will come to the last part of our chapter on lipid transport and storage. तो आगे बढ़ते हैं. अभी तक हम लोगों ने डिफरेंट वैरायटीज ऑफ लाइपोप्रोटीन्स कैसे बनता है, कैसे कोलेस्ट्रॉल ट्रांसपोर्ट होता है बॉडी में, ट्राइग्लिसराइड्स, ऑल दीज थिंग्स. अब कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट चीज हम लोग पढ़ेंगे which usually comes in the exams also. So we will take it up one by one. The first thing that we will study is what is known as reverse cholesterol transport. So what is reverse cholesterol transport? तो इसमें क्या होता है कि कोलेस्ट्रॉल जो है ये पेरिफेरल टिश्यू से वहां से हटा के उसको हम लोग ट्रांसफर करते हैं HDL में, और that HDL then goes to the liver which unloads the cholesterol, and this cholesterol is used by the liver to produce either bile acid synthesis or to dispose of the cholesterol from the body. और ये जो प्रोसेस है कोलेस्ट्रॉल को पेरिफेरल सेल से लिवर में लाना, this is a very important process of the balance of cholesterol level in the body, or what is known as cholesterol homeostasis. और यही रिवर्स कोलेस्ट्रॉल ट्रांसपोर्ट है जिसके वजह से हम लोग कहते हैं कि HDL कोलेस्ट्रॉल इज अ गुड कोलेस्ट्रॉल. क्यों? क्योंकि HDL कोलेस्ट्रॉल का जो इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप है between the plasma HDL cholesterol and atherosclerosis, this is because of this reverse cholesterol transport. अगर reverse cholesterol transport ज्यादा होगा तो HDL का लेवल ज्यादा होगा, ज्यादा कोलेस्ट्रॉल पेरिफेरल टिश्यू से लिवर में जाएगा, ब्लड वेसल से, आर्टरी से ज्यादा जाएगा लिवर में, सो हार्ट अटैक नहीं होगा. So that is why this reverse cholesterol transport is the basis for calling HDL cholesterol a good cholesterol. अब रिवर्स कोलेस्ट्रॉल ट्रांसपोर्ट में व्हाट हैपेंस? तो पहला चीज है कोलेस्ट्रॉल जो है पेरिफेरल सेल से ये HDL में आता है. HDL में आके इसको एस्टेरिफाई करता है, ये लिवर में ले गया. लिवर में इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ द एंजाइम LCAT इसका एस्टेरिफिकेशन होता है टू फॉर्म कोलेस्ट्राइल ईस्टर, और ये जो कोलेस्ट्राइल ईस्टर रिच HDL जो बना ये जाके लिवर में रिसेप्टर पे अटैच होके और ये अपना ट्रांसफर कर देता है कोलेस्ट्राइल ईस्टर्स को लिवर के सेल को, और जो बचा है वो HDL जिसमें अब कोलेस्ट्रॉल है ही नहीं, बहुत कम है, जिसको कहते हैं हम लोग HDL3, दैट इज अ लिपिड डिप्लीटेड HDL. और ये जो इफ्लक्स है, ये जो प्रोसेस है पेरिफेरल सेल से कोलेस्ट्रॉल थ्रू दी HDL, this is mediated primarily by a transport protein known as ABCA1 or the ATP binding cassette transporters A1. जो कोलेस्ट्रॉल ईस्टर्स HDL ने लेके आया, इसका अपटेक लिवर में is mediated by another receptor which is known as cell surface receptor SRB1. That means cell surface receptor scavenger receptor class बी टाइप 1। सो ये जो रिसेप्टर है ये बाइंड करता है HDL को और इसमें से कोलेस्ट्रॉल ईस्टर्स लिवर के सेल में जाता है। सो दिस इज इन अ नटशेल अबाउट रिवर्स कोलेस्ट्रॉल ट्रांसपोर्ट। सो प्लीज रिमेंबर, इसको जरूर याद रखिएगा। सो यू मे गेट शॉर्ट नोट्स ऑन दिस। देन another important thing for our body, for our heart, is what is known as the lipoprotein A or the LPA. What is this LPA? So lipoprotein A जो है, it is nearly identical to an LDL particle. But इसका distinguishing feature क्या है कि इसके अंदर there is an additional lipoprotein molecule known as ApoA, and this ApoA is covalently linked at a single site to the already present ApoB100, which is present in the LDL particle. ये LPA का बॉडी में क्या फंक्शन है? Till date, none of us have known. We don't know. लेकिन ये जरूर जानते हैं that if the level of LPA in the blood is high, then that person is at an increased risk of having a coronary heart disease. So how does this happen? So it was seen that ApoA is structurally similar to the protein plasminogen. ये जो plasminogen है, you will have read about it when you are studying the chapter of clotting in physiology. So this plasminogen is the precursor of the blood enzyme, protease enzyme, जो कि fibrin को target करता है, और यही fibrin है which is the main protein component of a blood clot. That means the target is fibrinogen. Fibrinogen को protease enzyme act करके fibrin में बनाता है. Fibrin is the main structure of any clot. So hypothesis है that ये जो elevated LPA है ये blood clot का breakdown को slow करता है. ये यही blood clot है जो कि heart attack को trigger करता है, because it competes with the plasminogen for binding to fibrin. It is also seen that intake of niacin vitamin reduces the LPA level as well as the LDL cholesterol and triacylglycerols, and it raises the HDL cholesterol level. So just to summarize what we have studied so far. So let us take the HDL. So liver and intestine से ये generate हुआ कोलेस्ट्रॉल, HDL बना, इसमें कोलेस्ट्रॉल है, ज्यादा कोलेस्ट्रॉल है, बहुत थोड़ा ट्राइग्लिसराइड है, और HDL क्या है? It is composed of the lowest amount of triglyceride and a very high cholesterol. इसका फंक्शन क्या है? It delivers cholesterol from the peripheral tissue to the liver for elimination. VLDL के बारे में बात करें तो लिवर से ये जनरेट हुआ. VLDL is a large particle. It contains a high amount of triacylglycerol and a relatively lower amount of cholesterol. इसका क्या फंक्शन है? इसका फंक्शन है to deliver endogenous triglycerides to the peripheral tissue. Endogenous means जो बॉडी ने खुद बनाया. उसके बाद LDL है. LDL कैसे जनरेट होता है? It is generated from VLDL. This LDL is composed of a low level of triacylglycerol, है ही नहीं, and a very high amount of cholesterol. which is higher than HDL. What is the function? It delivers cholesterol to the peripheral tissue and back to the liver. Then we talk about the chylomicrons. Chylomicrons are huge particles generated in the intestine, and as you can see, it is composed of a very large amount of triglycerides and a very low amount of cholesterol. और इसका क्या function है? It delivers the triglyceride which we ate, which we absorbed to the peripheral tissue. That is the exogenous triglyceride. So this is, in a nutshell, the different varieties of lipoproteins, what do they contain, and what is their function in the human body. अब उसके बाद थोड़ा सा हम लोग पढ़ते हैं ब्राउन एडिपोज टिश्यू के बारे में, बिकॉज इस पे भी शॉर्ट नोट्स आते रहते हैं. तो ब्राउन एडिपोज टिश्यू, इट प्रमोट्स व्हाट इज नोन एज थर्मोजेनेसिस, मतलब कि बॉडी का टेम्परेचर या इंटरनल जो टेम्परेचर है उसको रेज करता है. सो ब्राउन एडिपोज टिश्यू इज अ स्पेशलाइज्ड एडिपोज टिश्यू जो कि इन्वॉल्व होता है इन मेटाबॉलिज्म एंड स्पेशली इन हीट जनरेशन. बहुत सारे एनिमल्स में और इवन ह्यूमंस, it is an extremely important process, that the process of thermogenesis. कोई जानवर, we know about many animals which go into sleep during the cold season, that is they hibernate. So when they are hibernating, when they are sleeping, so what happens? The temperature is cold outside, so their body needs to produce just enough heat to keep the body alive and to prevent the animal from being exposed and dying of cold. That is non-shivering thermogenesis. Also, when a newborn baby is born, when the baby is born, it has a large amount of brown adipose tissue in its inside, is just below the skin and different parts cushioning the different organs. And what it does is it generates heat to keep the newborn warm. Human body में, normal adults में, it is not a very prominent tissue, and normally it is present idhar udhar. Now, what is the characteristic of a brown adipose tissue and a normal adipose tissue? It is characterized by a well-developed blood supply, and second is the amount of mitochondria and cytochromes inside the cell is very, very high. But ये जो ATP सिंथेज एंजाइम है जिससे कि ATP बनता है, ये एक्टिविटी इसका बहुत लो है. So the brown adipose tissue have a very well developed blood supply, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया ज्यादा है, साइटोक्रोम ज्यादा है, ATP सिंथेज एक्टिविटी कम है. यहां पे मेटाबॉलिकली बॉडी जो है ये एम्फेसिस करता है कि ग्लूकोज और फैटी एसिड को बर्न किया जाए इस ब्राउन एडिपोज टिश्यू के अंदर. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट द नॉरएपिनेफ्रिन which is liberated from the sympathetic nerve endings, it increases the lipolysis in the tissue and also increases the synthesis of lipoprotein lipase. तो क्या होता है? It enhances the utilization of the triacylglycerol rich lipoprotein from the circulation. यहाँ पे there is uncoupling between oxidation and phosphorylation, जो कि हम लोग normal tissues में जब oxidative phosphorylation होता है, so what happens? We have the production of NADH2 and it later on in the respiratory chain it produces ATP, लेकिन यहाँ पे नहीं है. So ये जो ऑक्सीडेशन एंड फॉस्फोराइलेशन का जो अनकपल्ड हो गया है, इस अनकपलिंग इसीलिए हुआ क्योंकि देयर इज व्हाट इज नोन एज अ थर्मोजेनिक अनकपलिंग प्रोटीन. इसका नाम है थर्मोजेनिन, ऑल्सो नोन एज अनकपलिंग प्रोटीन 1. एंड यहां पे क्या होता है कि फॉस्फोराइलेशन है, दिस हैपन्स एट द सबस्ट्रेट लेवल. अगर आप याद कीजिए द सक्सिनेट थायोकाइनेज स्टेप इन ग्लाइकोलिसिस, याद है? सो दीज आर द स्टेप्स एंड इन ग्लाइकोलिसिस आल्सो देयर इज सबस्ट्रेट लेवल फॉस्फोराइलेशन. सो दिस all this presence of thermogenin and the uncoupling produces much heat and little free energy is trapped at ATP. ये इसलिए होता है कि जो हमारा रेस्पिरेटरी चेन है, इसमें द थर्मोजेनिन दिस एक्ट्स एज ए प्रोटॉन कंडक्टेंस पाथवे. तो जो इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल पोटेंशियल होता है माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया मेम्ब्रेन के इस पार से उस पार, दिस डिसिपेट्स, ये खत्म हो जाता है क्योंकि ये प्रोटॉन को लीक करा देता है. And then why did we study all these lipids? Because we have to know about what is known as the dyslipoproteinemias or the primary disorders of plasma lipoproteins. एक एक करके we will just talk about it. I think the details are given in your textbook, so you can always you should do that all the time. So let us start. I hope you can see this clearly. तो पहला ग्रुप है the hypolipoproteinemias. Hypolipoproteinemia में there is एक बीमारी A beta lipoproteinemia. अब बीटा लाइपोप्रोटीन है ही नहीं, so what happens? No chylomicron or VLDL or LDL are formed क्योंकि ApoB का लोडिंग का डिफेक्ट है लिपिड्स पे. नाउ दिस A beta lipoproteinemia इज वेरी रेयर. इसमें क्या होता है कि ब्लड का ट्राइग्लिसराइड लेवल लो होता है और इंटेस्टीन और लिवर में, क्योंकि वहां से न काइलोमाइक्रोन, न VLDL, न LDL कोई भी नहीं है जो कि ट्राइग्लिसराइड को इंटेस्टीन और लिवर से निकाले. So what happens? There is accumulation, there is intestinal malabsorption, and usually if not treated, if not diagnosed, there is early death of the child. So we can avoid early death by administering a large dose of fat soluble vitamins, particularly vitamin A. The second is the familial alpha lipoprotein deficiency, also known as the Tangiers disease, the fish eye disease, or ApoA1 deficiency. In this, the defect is all have low or near absence of HDL. So what happens? There is a tendency towards hypertriacylglycerolemia as a result of the absence of ApoC2. This causing inactive lipoprotein lipase, low LDL level, and there is atherosclerosis in the elderly. अब दूसरी तरफ है हाइपर लाइपोप्रोटीनीमियास. हाइपोलाइपोप्रोटीनीमिया के अंदर आता है द टाइप 1 और familial lipoprotein lipase deficiency. What is this? What happens? This leads to a high level of triglyceride or hypertriglyceridemia due to the deficiency of the lipoprotein lipase enzyme, or there is abnormal type of LPL, or there is a ApoC2 deficiency which causes inactive LPL. So there is low clearance of chylomicron and VLDL. There is a low level of HDL and LDL both. And these types of patients, they have no increased risk of coronary heart disease. Then we have the type 2A or the familial hypercholesterolemia. इसमें क्या होता है? There is a defective LDL receptor or there is a mutation in the ligand region of ApoB100. Due to this, there is an elevated LDL level and hypercholesterolemia, and this results in atherosclerosis and coronary heart disease. तो इस तरह का patient will present with blocked arteries and heart attacks at very young age. Then we have what is known as the familial type 3 hyperlipoproteinemia. इसको क्या क्या अलग अलग नाम दिया गया है? One is the broad beta disease, the remnant removal disease, or the familial dis beta lipoproteinemia. In this, there is a deficiency in remnant clearance by the liver due to the abnormality in the ApoE. Such type of patients, they lack the isoforms E3 and E4, and they only have the E2, and this does not react with the E receptor. There is an increase in chylomicron and VLDL remnants of the density of less than 1.019 or beta VLDL, and this causes hypercholesterolemia, the xanthomas, and the atherosclerosis. Xanthomas are the collection of cholesterol under the skin just below the eyes or on the top of the eyelids. Then we have the type 4 hyperlipoproteinemias, or so known as familial hypertriacylglycerolemia. In this, there is overproduction of VLDL, which is often associated with glucose intolerance and hyperinsulinemia. So, cholesterol level, it rises with the VLDL concentration. The LDL and HDL tend to be subnormal, and this type of pattern is commonly associated with coronary heart disease or a type 2 diabetes mellitus, obesity, alcoholism, and administration of progesterone hormones. Then we have the familial hyper-alpha lipoproteinemia. What happens? There is increased concentration of HDL, and this is a very rare condition, and it is very beneficial to the person who has this disease because his health, his longevity is increased. Then we have the hepatic lipase deficiency. There is a deficiency of the enzyme which leads to the accumulation of large triacylglycerol rich HDL and VLDL remnants. And such type of patients with the hepatic lipase deficiency have the xanthomas and coronary heart disease. Then there is another group, that is the familial LCAT deficiency or the lecithin cholesterol acyltransferase deficiency. Now this absence of the LCAT, this leads to the blocked in the reverse cholesterol transport. So what happens? HDL remains as a nascent disk because it is incapable of taking up and esterifying cholesterol. So the plasma concentration of the cholesterol ester and lysolecithin are very low. This is present in an abnormal LDL fraction, lipoprotein X, which is also found in patients with cholestasis. The VLDL is an abnormal sort of VLDL. Then we have what is known as the familial lipoprotein A excess. The LPA consists of one molecule of LDL attached to one molecule of ApoA. And this ApoA, as we have discussed, shows structural resemblance to plasminogen. Now, this familial lipoprotein A excess, it leads to premature coronary heart disease due to atherosclerosis, plus thrombosis due to inhibition of fibrinolysis. So this brings us to the end of the chapter on the lipoproteins, the transport of cholesterol. The next class, I will be taking up the nuclear proteins and pyrimidines, purines, their synthesis, their breakdown. Have a nice day. Remember, be safe.